Hey guys, it's Grumpsy. I want to do a little walkthrough today of what has been so far my favorite dungeon of Dragonflight, which is the Ruby Life Pools. It happens to be a dungeon that a lot of people got kind of scared of. It was a little bit overtuned early on. A lot of healers are scared of this place, kind of DPS. End up dying to the second boss, hearthing out, don't really know what to do. I want to do a little walkthrough today because I feel like I know a lot about this place. Last night, timed a 24 Tyrannical with mostly pugs, a couple people that I played with before. So I'm just going to go through the VOD that I took from my stream and kind of just talk my way through it. And we'll see, kind of what we come up with here. So let's start. So we're here at the front of the dungeon. We're going to spend a little bit talking about the route that we take. This is Tyrannical week, and here we go, the tank linked to route. A little bit surprising to me was that he wanted to pull this in two, which is, as you'll see, the second pull is pretty wild. The first pull is okay. The second pull is pretty wild. You generally want to do this because these mobs are not too threatening. Even on Fortified, you can handle it. And it saves a lot of time. A lot of people waste a lot of time in this front section. And pulling this kind of aggressively will save you a lot of time. That's one. Two, if you pull this aggressively and you wipe, then you can just leave, right? You got it over with quickly. But that's generally kind of what you want to do in here. Either one, two pulls or three pulls. And a lot of people will opt to skip either one Juggernaut or two Juggernauts. The Juggernaut is this tall rock dude here. I'm going to fast forward a bit and get started. Here's my talents for any Resto Shaman players. I had never healed 24 Ruby before, so I opted for a little bit less damage, not taking Stormkeeper or Lava Surge, and kind of going, heavy chain heal. A little bit scared of the second boss, TBH. You really want Purge. You really want Wind Rush. Wind Rush is going to help you a lot. You want this. This is required for Mythic Plus. Don't listen to people who tell you that this is not required for Mythic Plus. This Thunderstorm knockup talent. Yeah. So for the shamans out there, that's what I use. So we're gonna get started here. So as you see, Tank's saying we're gonna skip the first Juggernaut, and he's gonna say he might pull the second one. You'll see what the pull looks like. I wasn't a fan because this is bolstering week. Yeah, you'll see. So we go through here, we Shroud. Most people like to skip this. It's very inefficient to pull this Juggernaut. So either you bring a Rogue or you bring some Invis Pots. So right away here, a lot of people doing, mid, lower keys don't know this. This ability, Tectonic Slam, when it goes off, it kind of hits the party for a lot of damage. And especially in Fortified, it's going to do a lot of damage. This is interruptible with any sort of stun or displacement ability. And you want to start doing this in your keys if you're not. You don't want to let that go off. So here I use the Thunderstorm knockup ability to interrupt that. We pretty much get all of them here. There's another one going off. There's two in this pack. So I used Cap Totem on that one. So this pull's quite large. Here's another Tectonic Slam. Somebody disoriented that one, I believe. Anything works. The Typhoon, Ring of Peace will cancel it. And again, it is bolstering week, so we're trying our best to kind of damage everything down evenly. You'll see very important here, as someone with a Purge, you want to purge this shield off, if possible. So that's the first pull done. You see everyone's doing 300k DPS. It's pretty cracked group. I was pretty happy with this one. And the second pull, I wouldn't recommend this. You don't have to pull this second Juggernaut, but we opted to do it. The tank, got a little big here, and it was mostly okay due to, our Paladin's 420 item level. That's probably the reason why. You'll see things get kind of bolstered. It gets a little bit messy here. And our Boom King gets yelled at for not pressing his Solar Beam, which happens. Very important to dodge these things. The little swirls are going to kill you. The big swirl is definitely going to kill you. If you're a ranged player, please do not stand in the melee because it will put the swirls on top of the melee. And we all know melee players, you know, they can't see that kind of stuff. So just be very careful if you're ranged. Don't kill your poor melee players. See Tectonic Slam going off. I interrupted that one. So we have some bolstering issues in this pack. You know, the mobs did not die evenly, mainly because they got pulled at different times. There are different health pools as this, you know, just Juggernaut is now quite large. But as it's a Tyrannical week, you know, everything's kind of manageable. And with the change that bolstering falls off now, it's not too bad. So interrupted the Tectonic Slam. So that's pretty much it for this front half. You see, we're done here in about 3 minutes for this front 2 packs and got 30% trash. So that's pretty good. Alternatively, if you didn't want to pull that Juggernaut, he pats back and forth here, and you're able to sneak by him on the right here where we just ran. And now we're pulling Defiler Draghar. Pretty simple mob here. Puts fire on the ground, hits the tank a lot. This Blazing Rush, if you can, you know, the tank's tanking him in a cool spot here where, if you know, kind of high level would be to bait the charge towards the wall or the pillar so he doesn't go too far. So melee can hit him. This one's going on the Boomkin, so it's going to go pretty far here. Another kind of high level thing you can do, if the tank doesn't do it himself, there's kind of whelps outside the door here, where we just ran in from. And the whelps don't really do anything, so if they give a little bit of count towards the dungeon. As you see here, I did a good job baiting the charge to the wall. You can pull the whelps outside into the room as long as the tank is okay with it, and kind of cleave it down with this thing, which, you know, is generally saves a little bit of time. A lot of classes enjoy having the ability to cleave from one, you know, big target and small targets at the same time. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So go to the first boss here. Real kind of like a here we go moment. We decided to save lost here. High Tyrannical, you have to be aware that the tank is going to get absolutely demolished by this Frostbolt ability that the boss casts. Immediately here, you'll see what I do. We stack for the Hailstorm, which is this, we put the bombs on the ground, and we don't restack, or I try not to restack immediately, because I know that this ability, the Chillstorm, was coming next, right? So if it goes on me, I don't have to waste time kind of running out here to place it. I'm already pre-spread. I can stand there for Chillstorm, prepare my healing, and kind of get out of there. The Druid's running away here. He's running to a good spot. You definitely do not want to place this behind bombs and kind of suck the DPS towards, or suck the party towards the bombs. That's kind of toxic. He went to a pretty good spot here. Not the best, but this will do a lot of damage, obviously, on high keys. This has been nerfed a number of times already, this ability. Still does a lot of damage. Very important, after that goes off, if you're tanking, you need to be aware that the healer is, you know, he's healing other people. So you're going to watch your health there. If you're healing, you need to be aware that the tank is continuously taking damage, especially right after Chillstorm hits. So that is a period of high risk for the tank. As you see here, I get Chillstorm. Kind of put it over here. Had to drop a Wind Rush to get out of it. As a healer, you kind of want to save your uh-oh buttons for if you get a Chillstorm. It really puts you out of position, and at least for the Shaman class, where we need to prepare a lot of our healing, it's kind of a struggle for us to heal when we get the Chillstorm. For DPS players, you see we get the intermission here, the Frost Overload. A lot of people don't know this. You actually should hit the shield. You should hit the boss, prio the boss before killing the whelps. That will really, really make your healer happy. You don't need to kill the whelps first; they don't do anything. But you need to burst that shield down so that you're not taking too much damage. So the rogue puts the Chillstorm in a good spot, kind of gets out of it. I didn't do too good of a job with this one. Kind of let the Druid drop a little bit. So we're just chilling. Demon Hunter puts a bad Hailstorm, so we have to go over there. We have a Chill Storm coming. As you see, the tank's taking a lot of damage here. So I guess for Shaman players, you really want to have, quote-unquote, something for every Chill Storm. You want to have either Primordial Wave ready with the Riptides on everybody. You want to have a Cloudburst built up. Or you want to have some sort of cooldown. Ascendance, or, if you need to, pop Spirit Link. You want to have something for every single Chill Storm on high keys. Or you're gonna run the risk of people dying. People take a take of the Chill Storm. They take a lot of damage. It's tough. This one again, I had a Cloudburst prepared. Probably, I didn't want to use Link there, but in another situation, I might have pressed Spirit Link there. It was a good thing I didn't, because I needed it here. You'll see we don't do a good job of bursting the Frost Overload down too well. Taking a lot of ticks here. Everyone drops super low here, so we press Darkness and Spirit Link. Really, we would have died otherwise there. Tank needs to lay on hands himself here. Yeah, there he goes. Really kind of hanging on by a thread, but that's what this boss is about. Just a lot of raid damage. So got the Chill Storm here. Someone asked for to pull the whelps. You can do this as a tank if there's not if you feel that everything's okay in the fight. You can actually go over here, pull some of these whelps. They don't give any percentage to the trash percentage, but certain classes really like having ads, as we discussed earlier. Sub Rogue is one of them. I think Boomkin. Frost Mage is going to be happy if you do this, right? Here I get Chill Storm. I've saved Spirit Walker's Grace for it, so I can get out and start healing. Drop a Healing Tide, just because, I'm kind of low on mana. It was probably okay to save Healing Tide there, but I just dropped it for the fun of it. Okay, yeah, about a 4-minute boss. So, it is a, it's a marathon. Let's see here. Skip forward a bit. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, so we pull Thunderhead here. Especially on, higher fortified, some groups have been deciding not to pull the Thunder Dragon. I think they're both about the same difficulty these days. I honestly, I don't like pulling either as a healer, but probably as a shaman, I actually like the Fire Dragon better. It's a little bit easier to manage. You just Bloodlust on it on fortified weeks. On Tyrannical, it's just whatever. Here is another prop pally pull. You may not want to do this with a tank that doesn't have a lot of interrupts. Our party also has, Rogue DH, Shaman, pretty good interrupts here. This is a big pull. This is a double pull on Bolstering Week. We do a very good job here of not bolstering the Inferno dude, the Elemental. If your Elemental gets bolstered, it's gonna... yeah, you're just gonna have to, pop a cooldown or something. Goes second Inferno. Flame Dance is going off. If you don't know about this Flame Dance, the same thing with Tectonic Slam. You do need to interrupt it. If that cast finishes, it's going to blow up on the party for huge raid damage. It's casted by the Flame Dancers here. Cinder Reavers cast the interrupted Cinder Bolt, and the Flame Dancers cast Flame Dance. And you can purge the Blaze of Glory so that it stops. If you have a purge in your party, super helpful. The second pack here is not too bad. It's just a single pull. Kind of a little bit more relaxing here. And yeah, as a DPS player, if you put this living bomb on the mob, it actually knocks it into the air. So it's a good thing to know if you didn't. If you're a healer, do not be afraid to use your cooldowns in this section of the trash, even on non-fortified week. Saves mana, saves time. You can do some damage while your healing cooldown's going off. You typically expect to tank about 2 Infernos per per trash mob. So just be prepared for that. Trying to purge the thing. It's hard to click with the Scorchlings running on top of it. So we do have to skip the Fire Dragon. You need to be careful because he does fly through here. A lot of people don't know that, right? He actually pats kind of in a figure 8. And you need to be aware that he can fly through here. You see him, kind of parked there right now, so he's not flying through there. But if you accidentally pull him, don't pull him into this, obviously, which has happened before in my keys. If you pull him, just kill him, just move on. But typically, you want to skip one of the dragons, and people often skip the Fire Dragon. From my experience, the DPS generally has cooldowns for this one, for the third destroyer. And this one, you see, is dying really fast. See, unfortunately, you have a get a +2 bolster here, but it's okay. That happens. So we're gonna wait here. Flame Gullet is parked here, or some people call him Flame Gullet, parked here. If you have some sort of rogue or invis, you can actually shroud. You can use shroud and run through here and kind of go around this tree. Flame Gullet has a eyeball, so he can see invisibility, I believe. But this guy can't. I think that's right. I'm not 100% sure. But I know you can shroud through here. If you have Mind Soothe, you can Mind Soothe this guy and just run through here. Saves having to wait here. We kind of know he's going to fly off, so we just wait a bit. Let me get some mana. This is the last, the last trash pack here, the last destroyer. Not too bad on Tyrannical. As a healer, if you get this Living Bomb, you need to, be ready. It's going to interrupt your healing, right? It's going to interrupt your cast, so just be ready for that one. You might need to pop something there. I might do a fortified Ruby Life Pools. It is a little bit different with how you have to mentally approach the dungeon. This is the stuff that is kind of like going to be scary on Fortified Week, right? So maybe next week I'll try to find a fortified Ruby. Get a little sad here because this Inferno goes off. Type ZZZ. It's always important to let your party know when you are a little bit sad. So that's it for the trash here. We're going to do second boss. And a lot of stuff to know here that would really, really help your key out. Especially if you're a DPS ranged player. You need to know kind of what's going on here. Very important to understand is the concept of baiting. We need to figure out where we want to put the ad and where we want to put the boulder. We don't want to put the boulder. You'll see the boulder come out here. The boulder targets a random player. You don't want to put it where you're going to run to. And you want to put the ad kind of in front of the boss, generally. So we see here, kind of just giga ray damage going out. here we go. The second boulder coming out right now. You see it's coming right now. These people are not standing in the right place. You actually want to stand, if possible, the boss a little bit further. You want to stand back behind the boss so that the boulder goes back towards the fire, right? You want to bait the boulder backwards, and then you want to put the next ad in front of you. A lot of people kind of, the WoW instinct, right, is to put the ad close to the previous fire. That's actually incorrect. You either want to put the ad in front of the boss or just like right on the boss. And you, as a tank, you want to give yourself a lot more room. Okay, you want to pull this kind of back here, if possible, and you'll see he will do that. This boulder, this is we'll call it boulder 2. Every phase has 2 boulders. It has the boulder that's cast right after the elemental spawns, and the boulder that casts usually generally after the elemental dies. So this is boulder 2. You do not want to bait this boulder forward to where you're going to run. That causes a lot of problems, has caused me a lot of wipes. Try to put this sideways or backwards if you can. So we get a decent one here, kind of a little bit farther to the, this way would have been bad, but we're okay here. So me and the Boomkin are doing a good job. We want to bait the ad kind of in front here. You do not want to put it here. I see so many people just put the ad over here. The ranged DPS just kind of, hanging out over here. Do not do this. This is going to wipe you. This is what causes a lot of wipes. A lot of people don't know this. So we put the ad here. Boulder's going backwards. That's perfect. And then as a healer, you got to prepare for this Inferno right away. As you see, our 420 eye level paladin is taking absolutely no damage from 24 Tyrannical. So we got a good boulder bait here by me. It's going right into the fire. Perfect. And it's kind of a marathon. You just do this over and over until the boss is dead. I see the Boomkin standing here in front of the boss, not standing here by the fire, as I see so many ranged DPS do. We're going to wait. The tank pulls the boss to the ad, and the boulder goes backwards. Perfect. And really just rinse and repeat. The cool thing about this fight is it's completely controlled. You can control pretty much everything. The spell queuing is a little bit weird. Sometimes Searing Blows comes out a little bit early. Sometimes it's late on the tank. You see, again, me and the Boomkin are baiting here. That's my bait. We run behind the boss to bait the boulder. The tank takes the boss over. Got a good boulder. Here comes Inferno. Same thing every time. Drop a Spirit Link. Kind of just watching for an early Searing Blows that happens kind of overlap with the Inferno. I like to Spirit Link there. Another good boulder directly into the old fire. So we have, Blazebinder coming out in 3 seconds. Me and the Boomkin standing perfectly again. I believe it just targets ranged DPS and healers. So, and another perfect boulder towards the old fire. Yeah, and I mentioned earlier that this is a scripted fight, right? Like, you can control everything. There's no real damage outside of Inferno. So if you've healed up Inferno, you healed the tank, you can healer, you can hit the ad. You know what I mean? You put a little DPS in. It might save you a key if someone has a little bit low DPS on the ad. That's not the best boulder that the rogue just placed. Kind of goes towards the ad, but not the worst. Not the worst thing I've ever seen. Oh, and that's very important for people to know. The ad actually meleeed the Demon Hunter there. I don't know if you saw that. Let me go back a bit. The ad actually gets interrupted here, and then I think melees the Demon Hunter. Yeah, you see he melees the Demon Hunter. So tank, you have to get aggro on this. A lot of people don't know that either. Good boulder again, and I call boss. We're just going to kill the boss here and ignore the next ad. And that's the fight, pretty much. Just very rinse and repeat, and takes a lot of practice for all parties involved. But once you know it, there's nothing too much to worry about here. It's as long as you have the throughput to heal it, as long as you have the throughput to kill the elementals, it's not a hard fight. So here's the pull after this boss. It's my experience here that tanks usually don't have a cooldown here. Very, very dangerous pull, actually. I've had many wipes here. To killing the second boss, everything goes great. We pull this, and then we wipe. It's very dangerous to do this. Be aware that the little spark ads that spawn are going to jump to ranged players when you dispel them. So just don't get hit by that. It's going to kill you. Melee, you need to know about this, whatever this is called, Thunderclap ability. Kind of reduces your haste. You can avoid it if you stand at max melee range. Other than that, it's it's just a it's just a haste lost for you. Kind of hard to deal with, but you can avoid it if possible. Some tanks like to double pull this next pack. I really don't like it in pugs. If you have a coordinated group, you're comfortable with the kicks on the flame channelers and stuff, go, be my guest, double pull this, save 30 seconds, save a minute. In a pug, there's generally no need to double pull that. It's just a very, very risky pull. And this pull kind of allows people to chill out a second. People pop their cooldowns on the first pack there. I can go around and purge these little things. And we have plenty of time here, obviously. We have 10 minutes to do the rest of the dungeon. Got the range kick on the Tempest Channeler, so he walks towards you. I have seen before here also, this pack that we just pulled. You don't want to Avenger Shield this if you're a prop pally. Or you don't want to throw glaive. I've seen it bounce to this pack in the back with the mini boss. That's usually going to be a wipe. So just be careful. Kind of pull it back here as Cactus Jack has done. Healers, don't be afraid to use your cooldowns on this stuff, even non-fortified. It really hurts. It just hurts. There's no other way to put it. And phase 1 of the third boss is generally not too bad. So it's okay to use your cooldowns here if you think you're going to be up for phase 2, which I am quite certain they will be up for phase 2 in our situation. Again, if you have some kind of purge, you can purge those little thunder spark things, whatever they're called. This mini boss here, Raivati, High Channeler Raivati, has an ability where he sucks the shield off of the nearby ads and puts a shield on himself. Some people like to leave the shields on because it increases the time between which he casts Tempest Storm. It adds a little damage, adds a little health to this mini boss, but he casts Lightning Storm a little bit less frequently if you let him channel the shield ability. The tank does something really, really bad here in a second, you'll see. As I said, the boss sucks the shield off of the nearby ads, right? So you do not want to pull any of the side packs with this mini boss if he's about to cast the shield. Because you'll see what happens, and we almost wipe here. He's spawning ads, and the tank pulls this. You do not want to do this at this time. See, now suddenly Raivati has a huge shield, and kind of panicking here. We have to DPS this down. We do it with 0.6 seconds left. If that explodes, it's a wipe. It's instant kill on the whole party. But we made it. A little bit lucky. And that's it. That's all the trash that we're going to pull in this dungeon. And we're just up here to the last boss. So in general, you want to pull the main boss, the humanoid, over here between the two pillars. And then, I'm not too clear on exactly what's the best place to stand. I'm not, there's a way to min-max this, kind of bait the Dragon Breast in the right place. People generally don't do it. This is pretty good here where we're standing. And the direction of the winds is scripted. So this is always first from entrance towards the the tip over there. That is always the first wind. And the second wind will go kind of right to left if your back is facing the entrance here. So towards west, the second wind always goes this way. You want to try to place your fire in a kind of either together or that it will go into this pillar or off the edge if you can. I'm gonna put my fire right here. Not perfect, but it will go into this pillar and I think disappears if you do it just right. The fire actually disappears. As you see, it's going into the pillar here and kind of not bothering anybody. So that was the wind from towards the entrance, and the next wind will go kind of left to right here across the screen. Where the dragon's breathing right now, that's the direction of the next wind. So we put a not good fire here. That fire should go somewhere else, probably between these two pillars. In phase 1 here, you really want to hit the dragon as much as possible. It's not easy if you're melee, but whenever the dragon lands, you want to swap to the dragon. The dragon is the most dangerous by far of the two bosses, right? The dragon is the one putting fire on everybody. As you see here, we almost have a thundering go off. I got split up from the party. It is just a chaotic boss. It is a very difficult boss to handle. So the tank getting double hit there from the dragon and the Storm Slam, very risky. Healer, you must have a cooldown for this Flame Spit ability. If you're a DPS player, you know, pop a personal. Help everyone out. Don't die to the fire if you can help it. If you have an immunity, just pop it. We're not really doing a good job here of placing the fire. There's definitely a better way to do this. But we're in a pug, we're not in a voice chat, we're kind of just doing the best we can. See here, the dragon's almost dead. So it is helpful to DPS the dragon in phase 1. He phases at 50%, and that's it here. Dragon died, and we should be okay. The tank is really taking a lot of damage here from the Storm Slam, and I guess you can call it a miscommunication or lack of communication. We got split up here. The druid dies because I am not healing anybody, because I was on the other side of the fire. But that'll be it. That is the whole boss. This Urquhart Stormvane doesn't really do anything. It is really the dragon that's doing the majority of the damage on this fight. So that's it. We had one death. I just saw that. We had we'll call it a deathless, Tyrannical 24 Ruby. The one death was really the druid at the end, where, I just was out of position. Other than that, kind of a perfect run. I am happy to call it a, pretty spotless run. And that's it. That's 24 Ruby life pools. This is what our DPS looks like. Pretty good. That's really good. If you got that in Ruby life pools, you're doing good. Alright, thanks for watching. Any questions, feel free to ask. I hope you enjoyed watching this and you learned a lot. My favorite dungeon, again, as I said at the beginning, I really enjoy this. You can call it a healer dungeon. It is a healing intensive dungeon, so I get kind of butterflies in my stomach when I come in here. Always excited to do Ruby life pools. But that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. Peace.